Hey y'all, it's Kim, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 26 of Utau. And I gotta say, this episode, it was rushed, but there was quite a bit I liked about it. For one, it ties up loose ends for the most part, because immediately it explains stuff from the first episode, like, why did Utau disappear? Well, I like how this episode explains that essentially when Utau sacrifices herself, essentially the Earth and Delagranto kind of combined. So Utau with Grantia, they do certain things so that to kind of like prevent a straight-on collision. But in order to do that, it forces Utau into a spot where she has to go to like the ends of the world until where nothingness is, where simultaneously it's like the kind of like the start and end of time, you know, kind of like that, because at the end of the episode you see like the beginning of time, like when you see the plant grow. So I do like how they explain that, like why Utau disappeared, and I like how they switch things up, because this instantly goes back to episode 1 after Shoujo's taken care of. And this time Takia actually goes with his daughter so that her daughter wouldn't be by herself in nothingness, and Takia could be together with his daughter as they kind of like travel into like something that's kind of like nothingness, but it isn't, because they see like the beginning of this tree growing. So I do like elements like that. It has kind of like a nice family dynamic. And it shows you the extreme strength of Takia's character, because he would do all this for his daughter. It's a really nice thing to see, and it goes full circle, because Takia went from a character that kind of had like his immaturity to a character that's completely mature, to the point that he would willingly join his daughter into the place that where she's at. Shows you how much of a mature man he actually is. And that's what I really love about this episode. It gave justice to Takia's character. So that's why I respect it. And same for Utau, because she was also willing to go to this place that's between the start and end of time by herself, at least before Takia joined her. So I also love that too, which also shows Utau's emotional maturity. And it also shows off why the journey of trying to rescue Utau was worth it, because she was a selfish individual herself too. Because in so many animes, movies, and television series, when characters try to save another character, it's a character you either don't give a shit about or just want to see a character die. With Utau, we care about her. So that's why I thought the ending was bittersweet. It was sad, but in a way, it was happy, because at least Utau and Takia are together. So I do like that, what the episode did from a character standpoint. And I thought it did a good job in, at the very least, telling us what happened with Amanda, because it actually explains that she was actually Kana's mother, which means she might have had a baby. I mean, no, it explains that she had a baby, we just don't know who the father is. But I'm assuming it's probably Takia, because for one, Kana's got like the blue hair color, like Takia's blue hair color. And they did do the deed in the previous episode, so while I didn't explain it, I'm thinking Takia's other daughter is Kana. I could be completely wrong though, but at least that's just me. Comment out your theories in the comment section below. Or for any of y'all who read the visual novel, now that this is the final episode, is Kana actually Takia's other daughter? I'm just curious, you know? But at the very least, we got to find out what happened to Amanda. So I do like that. And then in addition to that, I'd say the only misgivings in this episode story-wise is the way Ayumi died, because she just turned her back and she got stabbed by Shoujo. I thought that was dumb of the anime writing stuff. I'm like, come on, y'all. Shit like that pisses me off. And even though we made a lot of plot progression, it felt too rushed, because for one, once it ends and once Takia goes with Utau, you see Ayumi, but you don't see how she's doing specifically And then you see Mia wanting to Saika Minachi, and then Yuki says, I want to learn English, but that's about it. I kind of wanted to see more of these two. I wanted to see more of Mitsugi, you know? The teacher. They spent such a long time with Taka trying to rescue her, and now they just give her like a glimpse of a few seconds and bam. It makes me wonder, then the fuck was the point of her arc then if they weren't even gonna fucking do much with her at the end, you know? So things like that really made the episode rushed. It barely even breathed, you know? So in the grand scheme of things, it's like the only arcs here that truly mattered were the Kana arc, the Miyu arc, obviously this, for the most part, the Della Granto arc was great, and the Ayumi arc. Those are like the only arcs that mattered. You know, I guess. No, yeah, I guess all the arcs mattered, but Mitsugi, it's like they could have done more with their character, you know. So that was kind of a disappointing there. And then I was expecting after the end credits to see Takia have a grand meeting with his father and mother, but then Takia's father only says a few words and he's all like, hopefully we can see each other again. I'm like, wait, that's it? They hyped this shit up multiple times in the series, and then they just see each other for like a few seconds and then like, boom, bye. I'm like, okay, anime writers. I mean, I guess it wasn't important to them. I felt that was important. They should have at the very least expanded on that a bit more, you know? So, just a lot of things in this final episode felt rushed where... Oh, and then as for the animation art, it was alright. Could have been better, but it wasn't bad. I got the job, got the job done. And as for my rating, I'm going to rate this episode a 8 out of 10. Because despite it being rushed, it at the very least resolved a lot of things. It resolved who was Kana's mother. The Delta Granto situation was resolved. And we got to find out what happened to Yuno in episode 1 and then going into this episode. And Takia joined his daughter. So there were a lot of things to like, and I felt that it did justice to Takia's character for the most part. I just can't give it like higher than 8 out of 10 because of how it treated the other characters though. Like Mitsuki. It was like the writers were like, you know what? Fuck off, Mitsuki. You don't get more establishment. Oh, me and Yuki? Both of y'all fuck up too. You didn't even get more establishment. Then Ayumi. At the very least, I would have loved to have seen more of her scenes, you know? But that was rushed. So that's why I can only rate this an 8 out of 10, this episode. And as for the series, I'm going to rate it as it's a smidge above average. And that's about it. Honestly, if this would have been given, like, say, 3 cores, like 39 episodes, this anime would have probably been way better. Like, you could tell they were going in speed motion in this final episode. But, at the same time, though, I thought it felt satisfying. At the very least, father and daughter are together. And for the most part, it's got like a bittersweet-like ending. Now, is this going to be in my top 10 animes of the year list? No, it ain't. It's not going to be there. Is it going to be in my top 20 animes of the year list? Maybe. Maybe it'll be in my top 20. Will it be in my top 25? Has a higher chance. Will it be in my top 30? Probably there. I'd say this is like in my top 30 anime of the year list. But with the way things ended though, I honestly cannot put it on my top 10 or even top 15 animes of the year list. And then even putting it in the top 20, like in the 16 to 20 slot, the fall season would have to really suck for me to it would have to really suck for, you know, to slot in there. But since fall looks really great, this is probably going to slot into like top 30, 25. And that's how I essentially feel about this series. I had a fun time, but it really should have stuck the landing more. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. Be sure to comment out your thoughts on how you felt about the episode in the comment section below. rate the video, subscribe, share, and comment down your thoughts on how you felt on my review video, and comment down your thoughts on the visual novel. Did the visual novel explain things more? Did it not explain things more? Could it also throw you off there? And also, as for the OVAs, I'll react to those when I get the chance, because just out of curiosity. But anyways, though, I did have fun with what I saw in the series, though. I did have fun. I was just kind of disappointed, though, with the episode. Alright, y'all. But despite that, though, Takia, his personality, and these two characters, they really made this series for me. And I really appreciate it. I thought they were great characters and dynamic. And yeah, that's why I enjoyed it. So anyways, y'all, have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.